What is going on, guys? Citizen JV, and today I'm going to be talking about the skills, especially for Evie and for Jacob Fry in Assassin's Creed Syndicate through the backwards compatibility on the PlayStation 5. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to talk more about Evie's skills first before we dive into Jacob's skills. However, hopefully we will make sense of everything here, and let's just get to it. So basically what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go through the stealth. And the stealth, like I previously mentioned in a video that I made not too long ago, is pretty busted. I mean, I thoroughly believe that when it comes to any kind of games that have some really good stealth implementation and the concept of it is very much broken if you know how to use it correctly. So, too much further ado, here we go. Basically, the whistle is going to be like a standalone type of thing. They have implemented the whistle in this game to where you can distract the enemies or any types of guards and be able to assassinate them through any types of means of necessary. So that's really cool. Another thing what's really cool is the fact that you can be able to knock out your enemies as you see fit, as long as you know how to use it. And it has to do with that there are certain types of missions in the game and that of the structure of the mission concept of Syndicate. That's going to really help you, especially if you're going to try to carry certain types of people in order to maintain a good proper amount of XP. So that's a good way of utilizing that as well. So basically you want to go with the stealth navigation as you see fit, and it's going to be really helpful, especially if you're going to go, throw any types of bombs or throwing knives. That's going to be a very implementation as well. The air assassination is back, however, as I previously mentioned, and that's one of the best things I really love about the older Assassin's Creed games, much that of Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla, because they did have the hidden blade to a certain degree, but they did not have the double air assassinate like in the previous older ones. So there we go. And now you can, however, do the double assassination in Syndicate as well, whether if it's you're in high profile or low profile. This is a really good skill to have as well. So just bear that in mind. And now what's really cool about this is that they have a thing called loot takedown. That's going to really help you, especially if you're going to be having some loot and being able to upgrade your gauntlets or your weapons as you see fit, or whatever weapons that you want to use. That's going to be very beneficial if you want to do that. So there we go. And then you have kidnap. I'm hoping that I don't get in trouble with this, but what this does, it's going to help you allow to access restricted areas in plain sight. That's going to be a really cool thing to use, especially if you want to be able to not get noticed in any type of restricted areas in plain sight, as you see on screen. And then by all means, go into lockpicking as quick as possible, though, too, because that'll help you find chests where you find money, resources, and rewards. And then if you go down one more, you'll get the lockpicking number 2. That's going to really help you as well, especially when you have doors that will be requiring, except doors requiring a master key. So that's going to be very beneficial if you want to go with this as well. Another thing that's really going to help you, especially if you want to play more with Evie than with Jacob Fry, I do highly advise going with the Assassin Steps. The Assassin Steps are going to be very beneficial, especially if you're going to be going with this type of playstyle with Jacob or with Evie. But like I previously mentioned, I think Evie is a very much more of a higher benefit of stealth than Jacob, but I'm not saying that Jacob can't be able to do any stealth kills as well. So like I said, I'm not condoning that. So that's a really good implementation of a point to put in this as well. Now, what I will say, the Stealth 2 and the Stealth 1 will eventually help you. Stat increase by 7. You are less likely to be detected, and your assassinations will make less noise. By all means, if you have more than any other points that you want to use, by all means, go with the Stealth 1 and Stealth 2. That is going to make you much more efficient in that stealth route. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to go into the ecosystem. The ecosystem basically gives you any other type of skills that you can use. That's going to help you with your eagle vision, your counter shot, and your fast driver. That's going to basically gain a good significant short-term speed boost while driving carriages. So that's really cool, especially if you want to do certain types of getaways. However, with Scavenger 1 and then with Scavenger 2, you will find more crafting resources from any kind of source that you will find or provide within chests. So that's going to be really cool as well. And then another thing, what I will say is that the leadership, I specifically don't use the leadership, so I'm not going to be doing any more of that. But however, I do advise go into the all three pieces of the Eagle Vision, because this will help you maintain a good balance of knowing where your enemies are, all out doing like high profile or low profile assassination attempts. So that's really cool as well. So I'll probably maybe eventually go into more into the other skills here in the ecosystem tree, but however, I like where I'm going with it so far. So now what we're going to do is just go over into combat. So what I'm going to say is this, like I said before in my previous video, you don't have to play as Evie in stealth mode or combat. You can go with Jacob anytime you want, and that's what's nice about Syndicate, and that's what I love about this game, is because you can switch between the two by any means necessary. You don't have to play as Evie all the time, but I like playing as Evie because she's more efficient in the stealth tree specifically. But like I said, you can still go with Jacob, so either or, it's what you want to do. That's cool as well. I do highly provide going into the tool combo, especially if you're going to be like, user tools like revolver or throwing knives in combat while breaking your combo. Useful for quickly bringing a single enemy to near death or attacking multiple enemies at once. That's going to be really nice. By all means, go with the counter because you want to go with the counter, obviously, because, the combat route. Stun attack is really nice, especially if you want to break any types of enemies' defense. And then go with multi-finisher. The multi-finisher is absolutely amazing, and it's very busted if you know what you're doing with that. And I do highly advise going into with the stealth boost. The health boost, excuse me. 1, 2, and 3. That's going to really help you as well. And then also go with the adrenaline, and then go with the combat stamina. Excuse me. And then go with Unstoppable. If you're going to play more with Jacob other than Evie, go with every single here in the combat of this combat tree. The Unstoppable and then the Execute and the Execute 2. That'll make you be a little bit more efficient and balanced overall, especially if you're going a la Brawl with Jacob. So that's really good as well. So Slayer, that's really nice, especially if you want to do multiple combos and be able to get some really nice XP out of that. That's going to be very beneficial as well. So another thing what I will add here real quick too, as you can see here, there are certain types of skills here that are only maintainable if you play as Jacob or as Evie. So basically the mutilate is only going to be Jacob only if you're going to be more into the melee combat style. But however, if you're going to go with Evie, Knife Master, the Stealth 3, and however, it's going to be the Chameleon. The Chameleon's going to be really nice, must be level 6, and then I also have the Assassin Steps required, which I already have, so that's going to be very neat as well, as long as I get up to level 6. So that's going to be really cool. Another thing, though, too, with Jacob only is going to be the Gunslinger. That's going to be an only thing for Jacob as well, and then the defense. So like I said, these are the only things that we'll see that are only either Jacob specific or Evie specific. So that's going to be very beneficial. Like I said, if you want to go the stealth route, by all means, like I said, go with the Stealth 3, the Knife Master, and then the Chameleon, which is going to be right here. So there you go. But anyways, so much further ado, if you enjoyed this content, by all means, please leave me a like or subscribe. You can do that too. Make any kind of comments or questions you might have. I'll be more than happy to reply back. And stay tuned and be there and be square.